As Dolphins fans, we've been riding this emotional roller coaster for years, but when something like this happens, it makes you stop and really think about where this team is headed. You feel it in your chest. You feel it when you scroll your phone and see the headlines. It's not just another roster move. It's one of those moments that shifts the energy around the entire franchise. And the crazy part? It didn't just happen out of nowhere. There's context. There's pain behind it. There's money involved. There's the future of this team on the line. And depending on how you look at it, this could either be the beginning of something smart or the start of something scary. Before we get into all that, if you're a real Dolphins fan who lives and breathes this team like I do, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to Dolphins Nation Report. We're a brand new channel trying to hit our first 200 subscribers. If you care about honest, real fan talk about this team, you're in the right place. All right, now let's talk about what just happened. The Miami Dolphins have officially released Tyreek Hill. Yeah, that Tyreek Hill. After suffering a torn ACL and a dislocated knee in Week 4 against the New York Jets, his 2025 season ended almost as soon as it began. And now, just months later, the Dolphins have decided to move on from him completely. He's 31 years old, coming off a devastating knee injury, and Miami just cleared $22.8 million in salary cap space by making this move. $22.8 million. That's not a small decision. That's not a let's see what happens move. That's a front office saying we're pivoting. And honestly, as a fan, I'm torn. On one hand, you look at the business side. Tyreek Hill was owed big money. Coming off an ACL tear and a dislocated knee, that's brutal for any player, but especially for someone whose entire game is built on elite world-class speed. The Dolphins clearly looked at the cap situation and decided that opening up $22.8 million was too important to pass up. But on the other hand, this is Tyreek Hill, a former Super Bowl champion with the Kansas City Chiefs, a guy who changed the identity of this offense the moment he arrived in Miami. For 4 seasons, he wasn't just a weapon, he was the engine. He was the fear factor. Defensive coordinators lost sleep over him, and now he's a free agent for the first time in his 10-year NFL career. Tyreek didn't stay quiet either. He went straight to Instagram and poured his heart out. He thanked the entire Miami Dolphins organization. He thanked his teammates. He thanked the coaches. And most importantly, he thanked Fins Nation. He talked about how from the moment he landed in Miami, he felt the love. He said these past 4 years were some of the most meaningful of his life and career. He called Miami home. That part hit me. But then he made it very clear. This isn't the end. He said, the journey don't stop. He said, the cheetah don't slow down, ever. He said he's locked in this offseason for the first time ever like never before. And he ended it with, the cheetah will be back, born again. You can feel the fire in that message. He's not retiring. He's not fading away quietly. He's telling the league he's coming back. And he's coming back with something to prove. And I'm going to be honest, part of me hopes he proves everybody wrong. But here's where things get even bigger. Tyreek wasn't the only major name cut on Monday. Bradley Chubb, former Pro Bowl linebacker, was also informed of his impending release on Monday. That's another massive defensive piece gone. Miami also released James Daniels and Nick Westbrook-Ikhine that same day. That's not trimming the edges of the roster. That's reshaping it. And then, you add the rumors. The Dolphins are being tipped to trade Tua Tagovailoa. Now pause for a second. You cut Tyreek Hill. You release Bradley Chubb. You move on from Daniels and Westbrook-Ikhine. And now there's smoke around Tua. That's not a tweak. That's potentially a reset. And this is where I start asking real questions as a fan. Are we retooling? Or are we quietly starting over? Because if Tua Tagovailoa is actually on the trade block, then this franchise is about to look completely different. Tyreek and Tua were tied together. That connection defined this offense. If both are gone, we're talking about a new era in Miami. And I get it. Salary cap matters. Age matters. Injuries matter. Tyreek is 31 and coming off a torn ACL and dislocated knee. That's not a minor injury. For a speed-based receiver, that's career-altering territory. But at the same time, elite competitors don't think like that. And if there's anyone crazy enough to come back flying after something like that, it's Tyreek Hill. The Dolphins clearly chose financial flexibility and long-term planning over loyalty and hope. That $22.8 million in cap space could be used to rebuild depth, reinforce the offensive line, bring in younger talent, or prepare for a quarterback shift. This front office is making aggressive moves, bold moves, risky moves, and as Dolphins fans, we've seen bold go both ways before. So what does this mean? It means the window we thought we were in might be shifting. It means the front office isn't afraid to cut big names. It means nobody is untouchable. If this is about building a more balanced roster and protecting the future, maybe it's the right call. But if this is the beginning of instability, we're gonna feel it fast. We all want a Super Bowl. That's the goal. That's the pressure. This fan base has waited long enough. If these moves are about positioning Miami for a real championship push in the next 2 to 3 years, then okay, I can live with the pain. But if we look back at this moment and realize it was the start of tearing something down that didn't need to be torn down, that's going to hurt. Right now, it feels like we're standing at a crossroads. Tyreek says he'll be back. Somewhere. Maybe not here, but he'll be back. And the Dolphins? They're clearly betting on the future over nostalgia. Man, it's a new chapter in Miami, whether we like it or not. If you're feeling this the way I'm feeling it, drop your thoughts in the comments. Was this the right move? Should we have kept Tyreek Hill and trusted the recovery? Are you worried about Tua Tagovailoa rumors? Hit the like button if you ride with this team through the highs and the lows. Subscribe to Dolphins Nation Report. We're just getting started and trying to hit our first 200 subscribers. If you're a Dolphins fan who wants real, honest conversations, not sugar-coated takes, this is your spot. Fins up, always.